Hi everyone, so today I'm just doing a really quick little video and it is for Glamtastic05's giveaway. So Glamtastic05 is having a giveaway and what she wants everybody to do is to talk about your must-haves when you're applying your acrylics or your must-haves when you're working on a natural nail. So these are the things that you absolutely cannot do without. So with the acrylics she's asked for 5. So I had a little think about it and I am thinking that my number 5 product would be my sterilizer, sanitizer. This you cannot do without, you know, when you're doing acrylics, because I mean you have to keep your area clean, you have to keep your tools clean, your nails, your clients' nails have to always be clean as well. So, but this also acts as a dehydrator. One of the problems with lifting with acrylics is if the nail plate is not dehydrated properly, and that a lot of us have oily nails, some of us a little bit oilier than others. So if you don't dehydrate the nail properly, the nail will come off. So this will be my number 5 on my list, and it is a very, very important tool when doing acrylics. So my number 4, as you can see here, I have a lot of little bits and bobs in front of me here. I have my dampen dishes, okay? These are all called dampen dishes. Now this one is a bit bigger. This one has bigger with a lid. As you can see, these ones are blue in color. And then I have my clear ones. Now the one thing I always do, and this is my number 4, is I always have a lid. And I always buy my dampen dishes with lids because the fumes from the acrylics can be very, very strong. And also, if you don't have a dampen dish on, as you can see I have my liquid in there, if you don't have your lid on your dampen dish, you're actually wasting your acrylic because it's your acrylic liquid is evaporating all the time. So you don't want to lose all your liquid, and also for the fumes. And if you notice, these are blue. I like to use the blue ones as opposed to the clear ones. And they say that the blue ones you can hold your liquid in overnight and they won't evaporate, or if the light doesn't get to the liquid, then your acrylic liquid stays fresh. So that's why I always use the blue ones opposed to the white ones. These ones I don't use too much because I think they take too much liquid. So I prefer to be more economical, so I go with the smaller size. Also, as you can see here, I have a few colors in my acrylics. I've got my red, my green, my silver. So if you're doing something that maybe say like a nail like this, where there is, I don't know if you can see that, there's green and there's yellow and there's orange and different colors in there, it is better to have a clean dampened dish for each color. So say I'm using my red, I'd have my red liquid in there, and I would only use that for my red. This one here I'd use for my green, and I'd only have the green there. So therefore I'll always have a nice clean clear color. When I go to put my clear on, I'll have like a dampened dish, I'll have my clear. So I'd have all my colors divided, and that way you're not tainting your liquid. And if you just want to do a clear top coat over or to encapsulate something, you're not going to end up with some red, which can sometimes happen. So I always like to use 3 dishes, 4 dishes, maybe as many dishes as possible. So that's my number 4, dampened dishes with lids, lots of them. Okay, that's my number 4. So my number 3, of course, would be a brush. Okay, you know, we're like artists, and when we have our brushes, you kind of get used to them. You get used to the feel of them in your hands, right? So this is my brush that I'm using. I absolutely love this brush. This is a Kolinsky number 6, and you can open it. That's just my phone going off there, so somebody texting me. But this here is my Kolinsky brush, and it's smaller, as you can see, like it's quite small. It's very lightweight. I like the idea that I can close it up when I'm finished. Very compact, love that. So I use a number 6 at the minute. I find though, they always, when you start to learn to do acrylics, they always say, oh, number 8. Use a number 8. So as you can see, the difference between the 8 and the 6 is much thicker. So I found that through the years doing acrylics that I'm much more comfortable with a number 6 than I am with a number 8. Number 8 I would only use on the likes of the size of my nail now, because I'm going to be using huge balls to achieve these nails. So a number 6 is better for just normal everyday, just doing your pink and whites and that. So that's my number 3 on my list, would be my brushes. Okay. So number 2 on my list, and this will be my second thing that I must have, and I use all the time, would be my little palette. As you can see here, my palette, and it has little wells in it. I love this palette because it has little wells. We also have this little area here where you can put your little decorations in and have everything sorted for when your client sits down. You can have all your, you know, your little bits and bobs in there. But the reason why I have this in with the acrylics is because I like to mix my acrylic colors. So rather than using a lot of acrylic and, you know, wasting money and wasting product, I'd only use a little bit at a time, and then I would take a tool and I would like mix my colors in here, my acrylics in here. If I had a pink acrylic but I wanted to add some glitter to it, I'd add some glitter and I just mix it up. And it's a great shape to hold just the amount that you want, just for the time that you're doing those nails. Very handy tool to have. So this would be my second most favorite tool that I use when doing acrylics, is my palette. And they're very inexpensive, and you know, I only mix what I need, so I have no wastage. Okay, and they're brilliant, absolutely fantastic, very, very cheap. So my number 1 must have when I'm doing acrylics is, believe it or not, is my dotting tool. And you're probably thinking, why would you be using a dotting tool when doing acrylics? Well, a rookie mistake when people are doing acrylics is they get lifting, and they kind of blame it on their primer. Maybe they're not dehydrating or whatever. But one of the problems is when you are doing your acrylics is your brush. When you're, you know, placing your product on and you're going like this and you're popping it on and you're patting and patting and patting, some of the bristles can actually go towards the cuticle, some of the product can go towards the cuticle. So my tip, my number 1 must-have tool is this, because when you're doing your acrylics, you can take your tool and you can run it just along the edge here. After you've finished, wipe it down one side, wipe it down the other side, come back, run it back around, okay? And then take your brush and then you can pat it back thereafter. What you've just done is you've created a millimeter of a gap between your cuticles and your acrylics, and that will stop lifting. And then when this is all hard and ready to file, you just like file around the cuticles there, you'll have this tiny, tiny little millimeter of a gap, and then when you file, it sits, it sets, put your top coat on. So this tool I would not, absolutely 100% do without. Every time I do acrylics, I do that little trick, and I found through the years, if I do that little trick, therefore my acrylics don't lift. So Glamtastic was also asking people who are doing natural nail work, and you know what their top 3 would be. So just looking for my little bits and bobs here. My top 3 would be, right at the bottom, number 3 would be acetone. And here's my acetone, right, in my little bottle here. Acetone is amazing, gets off polish really, really quick, and as long as you wash your hands after, that's fine. It's not going to interfere with your polish, but it is definitely a must-have, because if somebody comes to you and they've layers and layers and layers of polish on, you don't want to be sitting there for ages like trying to take off the polish. You just want to get that polish off really, really quick. So my number 3 must-have always is acetone, as opposed to polish remover, because some are non-oily, some are oily, and you know, you don't really want to be messing around. Oh, if I use this, what will happen? You're better off knowing acetone, great, pop it on, wipe the polish off, 2 seconds, and wash your hands, you're grand. That's it, okay? So number two would be top coat. Now I actually don't have, do I have my top coat? Here. Top coat. You know, you need top coat to go over absolutely all of your designs. You have to have top coat, and I'm holding a primer in my hand there because I put a primer on the table instead of a top coat. But yeah, let's pretend that's a top coat. Oh, here, hang on, let me see. Do I have a top coat? I do. Here we go. Put that back. This is my quick drying top coat. So quick drying top coat is a second must have when you're working on the natural nail. Absolutely 100%. Okay, so my number 1 must have, and I must have this, is reusable adhesive, super tack. You can buy this in any hardware store, you can buy it at any shop, you know, you can buy it in newsagents, wherever. you know, it's for decorations, it's for hanging up stuff. Like, I'll just pop it open there and just show you what I have in here. There we go. Little squares that you get. So what I always do is I open it, pull off just a little bit. Ah, there you go. And what do I do? Where does this go? You're wondering, you're asking, where does this go? This goes onto my dotting tool. Okay, again, the dotting tool, my number one must have. There's my dot, it's on the dotting tool. You just kind of roll it there and just make sure it goes on properly. And this little gem, this little bit of blue tack, a little gem, you can get it anywhere. It can cost like €1 over here in Ireland, and if anybody's watching in America, you know, $1 maybe, I don't know. And you literally just pop into your little fimos and it picks up your fimos, as easy as that, for you to then, you know, pop onto your design. So for natural nail art, my number one must have is blue tack, or what it's called, super tack. There's so many different names for this product, but yeah, that is my absolute number one. And my number one product for working with acrylics is my dotting tool. So this little gem of a product here actually, in actual fact, is, you know, involved in my number one acrylic and my number one in nail art, because this dotting tool here, like, it's absolutely amazing. You can draw lines with it, you can paint with it, you can do dots with it, you can pick up your decorations with it. It's fantastic when you're doing your acrylics, and like I said, you just run it around the edge and you can create that little millimeter of a gap that will not, you know, stop, that will help you stop your acrylics lifting. So this is an amazing little piece, little apparatus. So there you go. That's me. That's my ranting and raving about what products that I really like and really love. So thank you to Glamtastic05 for having this giveaway. And so there you go. Hope it didn't go on too long, but yeah, number one, dotting tool for acrylics. Number one for natural nail art, my adhesive. Okay, so be glammy. Bye till next time.